Greetings, shining bulls and shining bears, and welcome to this, the 15th episode of the Crypto Astrology Podcast. We're going to take a look at what this week holds for Bitcoin and Ether price, but first, please always feel welcome to check out the Shining Bull website, where I have all kinds of offerings for all suns, especially a trading signal service for day traders, a weekly forecast for both swing and day traders, and predictive books and book bundle deals. And if nothing and I also, by the way, have two new books. One is about Ethereum Layer 2 solutions, and another one is called Bitcoin Countries, just to let you know. Anyway, if nothing is within your price range, then just follow me on Twitter and get notifications for this podcast, because I give out a lot of free info here and there. So now let's look at this week for Bitcoin and Ether price. And although I, the astrologer, live in Newfoundland, I am now giving these predictions as per UTC time. So, firstly, Sunday I see brings emotional volatility, ushering in an upward trend by early afternoon UTC as Moon transits in a cuspal relationship to retrograding Venus. However, as we approach mid-afternoon UTC, a downward shift will be evident. By early evening, the markets will receive a boost, driven by actions or attitudes made by leaders, culminating in a steady upward momentum influenced by unseen elements by nightfall. And this is due to the transits of both Sun and Moon. And by the way, my weekly forecast available on my website at quite a good price. That shows price points and gives a lot more detail as to exact timings of the most important moves and which movements will be the most severe during any given week. And also, this podcast, stay tuned for the news, just like any week, but this week in the news I'm also talking about things that are going to affect how this week goes as a whole. But anyway, let's continue. Come Monday, UTC, the early morning shows consolidation and a bearish retest, which can be potentially strong. Be aware, due to Moon's transit in relation to Mercury. By noon, a surprising upward spike will take hold when Moon enters Libra. And as the afternoon unfolds, we'll notice a new quality to the upward momentum. I see that on Monday, it's likely that there is a large institutional buy-in that keeps Bitcoin price moving up. And at the same time, there's something important happening for Ether, which is going to create wealth also. And there's much more about that in the yearly prediction book, Bitcoin and Ethereum 2023 Predictions, that book. Alrighty. Next, Tuesday promises an early boost, particularly for Ether. However, later in the morning, a downward reversal is likely as Moon enters into Aquarius in the Navamsha. Early evening will then bring about positive changes related to ETF news, favoring the industry. And as the day concludes, expect a realization that changes the market's course. On Wednesday, the afternoon stands out particularly, showing an unusual, robust market movement when Mars enters the Aquarius Pada of Uttara Phalguni. By evening, the market is in for a significant upliftment, and this is because Mercury turns retrograde. This is a really important moment that is going to send Bitcoin and Ether up in a surprising way. This is the most important moment this week, and it's going to change everything. Thursday shows an unexpected upward surge beginning in the early hours when Moon transits Ketu. Throughout the day, this upward trajectory continues due to the Sun's transit. The Sun, remember, is leaders. And at night, there is going to be consolidation as I see it. Next, Friday, UTC. Although there is a drop in the really early morning when Venus enters Sagittarius in the Navamsha, Beginning a few hours later, a sustained upward move starts due to the moon's transit in relation to Venus in the sky, and later to Mercury in the sky. Friday night UTC, a drop initiates that carries into Saturday morning. Saturday, please be aware, as an astrologer, I see that Saturday is a dangerous day because there is both an inexplicable upward trend followed by a strong down move, almost splitting the day in half. But again, my weekly forecast has more on that, and of course the trading signals if you're a day trader. But that down move will also be surprising. So Saturday is quite dangerous if you're active in the markets. So that was the weekly forecast for the week ahead in Bitcoin and Ether price. For intraday traders, as I mentioned, my signals service is best, and my weekly forecast is also key for day traders and swing traders, and really any investors, fund managers, VCs, whatever role you may play in our industry. My weekly forecast gives actually quite some good information actually. And then of course my books give the larger market context, important for everyone to understand, and check out the new book section there too. Now let's talk about some news from the past week. Again, although I, the astrologer, am physically located in Newfoundland, I am referencing UTC time as opposed to my time zone here in Newfoundland. So, first off, I want to touch briefly on something important that's happening in Argentina. In November of 2022, Bitcoin began a significant rise against the Argentinian peso, a trend still ongoing. While Bitcoin also started climbing against the US dollar, its performance against the peso was notably more bullish. And this context is crucial because this past Sunday, August 13th, pro-Bitcoin candidate Javier Milei unexpectedly won Argentina's primary elections. Notably, this happened right as Venus retrograded past the sun. And although Bitcoin's value dipped against the US dollar and the Argentinian peso on that day, both of them, the next day it kept climbing against the peso, and it ended up reaching an all-time high actually to date. So as an astrologer, this moment catches my attention. I touch on Argentina very briefly in my new book, Bitcoin Countries, in relation to Tether's moves in Latin America. But the recent events in Argentina, coupled with Venus's astrological position, suggest to me that countries are beginning a new era of divergence in their relative approaches to Bitcoin. This could lead to increased arbitrage opportunities for whales. Probably most of you are not those particular people who engage in that, but if so, this looks like the beginning of something opening up for whales who are arbitraging between different fiat currencies in relation to their value against Bitcoin. This is the beginning of something new and big for those people. So anyway, it also indicates to me as an astrologer an impending economic shift where Bitcoin is going to be pivotal. In the coming decade, countries' stances on Bitcoin will significantly shape the global landscape. What's happening right now with Bitcoin's value and its extreme rise against the Argentinian peso is likely going to be a moment that economists look back on as a historical marker for the new world that will be emerging over the coming decade. Again, there's a lot more in my new book, Bitcoin Countries, which I recommend. It's on my website. Next, regarding various Ether futures ETF applications. On August 17th, as moon, so that would have been, I believe, on Wednesday, August 17th. I think that was a Wednesday. So Wednesday, August 17th, as Moon was about to pass the exact degree of Ethereum's natal Venus, Bloomberg wrote that ETH futures ETFs could be, according to them, introduced by October. And this is significant because Sun hits Ethereum's natal Venus on Wednesday, August 23rd, the same day that Mercury turns retrograde. That's this Wednesday. This signals a pivotal decision for Ether, likely related to its futures ETFs or its classification as a commodity. And that could be the way that we see this decision being made or actual decisions being made. But it looks pretty quite significant because Sun is going to be right on Ethereum's natal Venus right as Mercury turns retrograde. So if you've read my yearly predictions book, you'd know that I predict a significant price climb beginning for both Ether and Bitcoin on this date, this Wednesday, August 23rd. In essence, this could be a major turning point. So please take another look at my book, Bitcoin and Ethereum 2023 Predictions, for more on this. And lastly, something on Coinbase. On Tuesday, August 16th, while the moon approached retrograding Venus, also, Coinbase received approval from the U.S. Commodities and Futures Trading Commission and the National Futures Association to offer crypto futures in the U.S. Though Venus's position in Ashleisha would initially have caused me to mistrust the motives behind this decision, the moon's conjunction with Mars in Sagittarius in the Navamsha makes me feel good about it as an astrologer, about the motivations behind this decision and how they are going to be good for the industry. Additionally, the moon's transit within Ashleisha Nakshatra at the moment Coinbase tweeted on this was almost exactly where Venus will turn direct in September. This indicates positive developments, particularly for Ethereum, and those developments are likely to boost both Bitcoin and Ether prices in the first days of September. According to a Decrypt article, Coinbase's combined spot and futures trading platform will enhance the tracking of all Bitcoin futures ETFs to Bitcoin's spot price. That's been a problem. Futures ETF prices not properly tracking BTC's spot price. But the fact that Coinbase is going to be listing both, obviously already lists spot Bitcoin and or offers spot Bitcoin trading, and then that same venue, Coinbase, will be offering Bitcoin futures. That fact of them both coinciding on Coinbase will help all Bitcoin futures ETFs that already exist to properly track the spot price of Bitcoin. And that is likely, according to experts, to attract more industrial players to Bitcoin futures trading due to an improvement in the quality of the liquidity. So, in essence, Venus's retrograde through Ashleisha seems to be supporting a transformative process that's strengthening crypto markets. Ashleisha, an alchemical nakshatra ruled by Mercury, is, may I just mention though about this, if you're an economist, you may have your own insights into this, but remember that futures ETFs kind of relate to spot trading of the underlying asset in a way that can actually transform the trading of that underlying asset, the spot price. So there are a lot of implications here, and we are excited because it's likely historically with Bitcoin, it has kind of coincided, Bitcoin futures ETFs popularity had coincided with an upward surge in Bitcoin. Still, it's not really a simple matter because, well, it's simple in the sense that it's going to increase, it's definitely going to increase volatility, but it also acts as a specific type of interference, and so we should just be aware of that, I would say. But anyway, as I said, it does coincide, so it does coincide with some good things happening for prices. Anyway, Ashleisha is known for being able to work a particular type of magic upon the material realm, and this approval from Coinbase is one tangible example of how this cosmic transit is impacting our industry. So that's all for this week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.